Let's go over how to download and review your completed GruntWorx files. I'm going to come here to one of my demo clients here back at the dashboard and open up Paul, and it looks a little different than it did last time when we had the open windows to upload drag and drop PDF files to. Now we have some files in here to look at. And again, this was a populate and trade summary product, and it says completed, but down here at the middle of it, under your client's name, we have point sheet and bookmarked PDF. A point sheet XLS spreadsheet, that's our populate product. And the bookmarked PDF is our organization, what you get standard every time from GruntWorx, your documentation organized in the order of the 1040. Let's take a look at that one real quick. And here you see we have a lovely cover sheet by the client's name, the date created, submission number 1, and we'll talk about that later. But over on the left, our wages, our interest income, DIV, everything is listed and labeled in the order of the 1040, listed by the payer name, so easy to navigate. Consolidated 1099s, a Merrill Lynch statement, another Morgan Stanley below, retirement 1099Rs, partnership income with the 1065 K1, medical with the marketplace, deductions for 1098s. We'll list your organizers if you utilize an organizer for your clientele, and whatever they send you back, you can send our way, and we will list them here as you see. And finally, at the bottom, the things you'll most likely see that don't fit the mold of the 1040 will be tucked away neatly there. Supporting documents, bank statements, invoices, receipts, blank or back pages, smeared images, this page is intentionally left blank, things like that, and poor quality handwritten notes. If a client wrote out their contributions or ties, you could see that there. So even if it's not in the bookmarked order, it's still easily accessible, but a wonderful tool for keeping an organized, uniform look of your client's source image records. Back to the dashboard, let's take a look at our point sheet. And here we have an Excel spreadsheet, but notice at the bottom, these tabs, W2, INT, DIV, everything you just saw on that organization product, the fields of those forms are listed that will populate with this gray button into your software once we're ready. So let's take a look here at some of the things we see on the diagnostics tab. The first tab, it houses your taxpayer name, the year client ID, and the populate button, that green light button, I guess you could call it. Professional review required. This is where our GruntWorx staffers have seen something funny they want you to take a look at. Potential duplicate corrected documents detected. Verify match prior to population. A 1099R duplicated. Let's go down to the 1099R tab and see. Here we have 5 1099Rs listed like we saw in the organization product. But notice there's an X above this F column with Morgan Stanley. That's because the F column is the exact same as the G column. There's the same Morgan Stanley 1099R listed, and we don't want you to duplicate that in your software. We're watching for these things. So you can leave that X over it. Now, if this X were incorrect, you could simply backspace that X off, and it would import into your software. But if it needed to stay there, you just keep that X right where it is so that that duplicated information does not double up in your software. Back to the diagnostics, there was other things. Illegible or handwritten fields on forms cannot be validated. So this 1099 DIV on page 10 of the organization, as you see there, must have been too smudgy. Perhaps a poor quality scan or poorly printed document was submitted to the preparer from the client. But let's take a look at the tabs we received back. W2 listed, looking wonderful. This will import into the software. INTs, DIV information, consolidated 1099. Our trade summary product listed from that Merrill Lynch and Morgan Stanley, the description, the short-term or long-term covered, the sales price, cost basis, some gain loss listed in there as well. That information will flow into the 8949. And just in case you were curious to see, of course, a listing of details from a Merrill Lynch statement, line by line by line. a different output based on which input you choose when you upload documentation to GruntWorx, details or summary. Moving on, we saw the RSSA, two 1065s, 1099G, mortgage, and the marketplace. This information will flow neatly into your software when you're ready. A main thing I want to point out back at the dashboard, this gear icon on the right, download all completed. These are your files to keep. Download them to wherever you keep your digital file cabinet accessible. Make sure you hold on to these. In our next video, we'll go over how to import your GruntWorx files and that point sheet into your tax software.